Cappella is an Italian term which translates, in the manner of the church. This type of music started with barbershop quartets and then transitioned into pieces of popular music. Today, it has become a popular style of music and has evolved into a college fad and hobby. Media, such as Pitch Perfect and groups like Pentatonics, have given a cappella more exposure. We've chosen to take a closer look at an all-male a cappella group as well as an all-female group to study the similarities and differences between them. This allowed us to see the variations in the group based on their genders. The groups we've chosen to feature are Reverb, all male, and the Acapellas, all female. These are two of the 4 groups on FSU's campus.
We asked Reverb how they came to be an established group on FSU's campus.
This guy named Evan Powers and Justin Womack, they were College of Music sophomores, and they had lived in Cotham as roommates. And they literally were like, there's no male a cappella group and there's just all female and an all mix. So they just decided to start a bro group, and it was like 6 guys, I think, 6 or 7, in 2006. And it just grew from there. I mean, Reverb was like this nerdy, like, do-da-da-da-da, like, doo-wop group, but it really has grown.
We asked Reverb how they described their sound.
It depends, because it all changes. So we just came out with an album last year, and I would say that sound is like atmospheric and eclectic and just very like mysterious. We like to, like I said, be different, explore and push boundaries. But our sound is probably, this year our sound is pretty like nitty gritty, bitey in your face.
We wanted to know how their sound influenced their rehearsal techniques, as well as their perspective toward the competitions they participate in.
I make my own rehearsal schedule, so I just use extra time outside of rehearsal to make like a breakdown of times, and I kind of follow it using my phone. I have one like for this rehearsal and tomorrow's. So I kind of just structure it in the way as like, how much songs do we have to learn, and do we have to put in choreography, and do I need to sectionalize people? So since next weekend actually we're going to a competition. It's called SoJam, Southern Jam, and it's hosted by this group called CASA, which is like the Collegiate A Cappella Society of America, I think. And so we just look around, what's closest to us, what can we afford right at the beginning of the year? Are we overwhelmed? Because this is literally next week, and sometimes we don't even get started till early September. And it sounds like a lot of time between then and now, but it really isn't when you only have like 3 rehearsals a week. And you have to rely on when you get the arrangements. But we basically submit a video, so we have to submit an audition video, and we get selected. We were one of 6 groups to get selected. So we're really excited. And then ICCA, if you've seen Pitch Perfect, it's like the real life ICCA. We submit as well. We just submitted an audition video, and then they select groups from each region. With the punches, so not when I'm running, it's when I'm rolling. When I'm rolling with the punches. Okay, good. Let's go ahead and swap out Zach, Keith Hunter. I want to hear that again. Ready? 1, 2, and go. In the swelling heart. So in the swelling.
When we visited their rehearsal, they were preparing for the SoJam competition.
Acapellas how they came to be an established group on FSU's campus.
Actually, believe it or not, a girl who was in All Night Yahtzee was dating a boy in All Night Yahtzee, and they broke up, and she was like, I'm leaving Yahtzee, and I'm gonna make my own group, and she made the Acapellas, and here we are, and that was in 2000, so. Singing, oh, oh, oh. Singing, oh, oh, oh. Singing, oh, oh, oh. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Carry the energy through the phrase. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We also asked acapellas how they described their sound.
I would say this year we have a very soulful sound. I like the fact that our group this year has a lot of very big voices in it, so we have a very full sound. And I would say it's a powerhouse.
It's like, I don't know, just more, we do like leather jackets and that kind of thing. So.
Yeah, really full, really round. I want that intensity there, and I want it to kind of grow through that measure. So let's hear that. Chicago. So I'm gonna do 1, Chicago. 1, 2, Chicago. Okay. Ready? Yeah. 1, 2, Chicago.
We wanted to know how their sound influenced their rehearsal techniques, as well as their perspective toward the competitions they participate in.
Usually every rehearsal there's kind of a goal that we want to get to. Usually we're working on 1 or 2 songs at a time, and I kind of have a list of things that I want to accomplish for the day, whether it's learning music or solidifying something musically or doing choreography. But depending on what we're working towards, kind of depends on how we set up rehearsal. Yeah, so it's like when you lead in with that make it super heavy, and then when you continue on, you're no longer the most important part, so you can back off. You don't have to be as intense as you were before. So, no, that's not right. So, 1, 2, 3.
Sorry.
Yeah, one more time.
Every year we compete in ICCA, which is the International Collegiate Competition of Acapella, and competition of collegiate acapella is what it is. And that is something that we submit an audition video for. We do like 3-4 songs, and then most groups get chosen to compete in that. It's pretty big. It's split up by like regions, and then there's quarterfinals, semifinals, and finals in New York City. And then last year we competed in So Jam, which is actually this weekend that Reverb and Yahtzee are competing in. That is just a national collegiate acapella competition. It's more of a festival kind of environment. It's not as serious as ICCA. It's very big, and the judges end up being very big names, but ICCA is something that kind of helps with like the relevancy of your group, whereas So Jam is just kind of an extra thing to do to try to win another title sort of thing.
We noticed several differences between the two groups, one of which was that the all-male group, Reverb, seemed to be more serious and on task than the female group, Acapellas. Reverb members were highly motivated by the competition aspect, while the girls were more focused on enjoying themselves with the possibility of winning the competition as an added bonus. We also observed a difference in the leadership of both groups. Acapellas had a music director but worked collectively to get things done. Reverb, on the other hand, had a definitive leader to guide the group.
Though the interactions within the groups highlighted key differences between the two genders and their subsequent methodologies, both groups are very successful on campus and also in competitions. It's evident that both groups are aware of their strengths and have found what works for them.